Why calm men always have the upper hand. Have you ever noticed that the strongest man in the room is rarely the loudest? He's not trying to prove he's important. He's not arguing with everyone. He's not desperate to be noticed. In fact, sometimes he barely says anything at all. Yet somehow, people listen when he speaks. People respect his opinion. People trust his judgment. And when pressure enters the room, everyone instinctively looks at him. Why? Because calmness is one of the rarest forms of strength. Unfortunately, many people misunderstand it. They think calm people are weak, passive, too quiet, too soft. But psychology tells us something completely different. The people who stay calm under pressure are often the ones with the greatest emotional control. They think clearly while everyone else is reacting emotionally. They make better decisions. They notice things others miss. And because of that, they usually have the upper hand. The interesting part is this. Calmness isn't something you're born with. It's a skill, a habit, a way of thinking. And once you develop it, it changes every area of your life. Your relationships, your career, your confidence, your leadership, even the way complete strangers respond to you. Today, we're going to explore why calm men almost always have the upper hand, and why most people don't realize they're giving their power away every single day. Number 1. Calm men think while others react. Imagine someone insults you in public. Most people react immediately. Their emotions take over. They raise their voice. They become defensive. They say things they'll later regret. Now imagine another man in the exact same situation. He pauses. He listens. He thinks. Then he calmly decides whether the situation even deserves his attention. Notice the difference. The first man allowed someone else to control his emotions. The second man kept control of himself. That's real power. One of the biggest advantages calm men have is that they create space between emotion and action. That small pause changes everything. Instead of reacting, they choose how to respond. Psychologists often refer to this as emotional regulation. It's one of the strongest predictors of success in relationships, leadership, and decision-making. Because when your emotions control your actions, other people can control you. But when you control your emotions, you become much harder to manipulate. Number 2. Calm men make better decisions. Think about the biggest mistakes you've ever made. There's a good chance many of them happened during emotional moments. When you were angry, embarrassed, afraid, excited, or desperate. Strong emotions often reduce clear thinking. That's why people send messages they later regret, quit jobs impulsively, end relationships without thinking, or make expensive decisions they wish they could take back. Calm men understand something important. Very few decisions need to be made immediately. Instead of rushing, they slow down. They gather information. They ask questions. They consider consequences. Then they act. This doesn't make them slow. It makes them strategic. The world often rewards people who think clearly under pressure, not those who react the fastest. Number 3. Calm men are harder to manipulate. Here's something many people never realize. Manipulation depends on emotion. If someone can make you angry, they influence your behavior. If someone can make you panic, they influence your choices. If someone can make you desperate, they gain power over your decisions. Calm men quietly remove that advantage because they don't allow every emotion to become an action. That doesn't mean they never feel angry, or disappointed, or frustrated. They absolutely do. They're human. The difference is, they don't hand other people the steering wheel. Imagine someone trying to provoke you. They expect an argument. Instead, you smile politely, or simply walk away. Suddenly, their strategy no longer works. That's why emotional discipline is one of the strongest forms of freedom. People lose power over you the moment they realize they can no longer control your reactions. Number 4. Calm men command respect without demanding it. Many people chase respect. They try to sound important, appear powerful, dominate conversations, win every argument. But respect doesn't usually work that way. Real respect grows naturally. People trust calm individuals because calmness communicates confidence. Imagine being on an airplane during turbulence. Would you rather see a pilot who appears calm or one who's visibly panicking? The answer is obvious. Calmness creates trust. The same principle applies everywhere. Families, friendships, business, dating, leadership. People naturally feel safer around someone who remains composed when life becomes difficult, because emotional stability suggests reliability, and reliability creates respect. The strongest leaders rarely need to remind people they're in charge. Their behavior already communicates it. Notice something interesting. None of these advantages come from being louder, more aggressive, or more intimidating. They all come from mastering yourself. And that's exactly why calm men continue winning in situations where emotional people keep losing. But we're only getting started. Because the next 4 lessons explain why calmness quietly creates confidence, influence, and opportunities that most people never even notice. Number 5. Calm men make other people feel safe. One of the biggest reasons calm men have the upper hand is something most people never think about. People are naturally drawn to emotional safety. Imagine walking into a room where one person is constantly shouting, getting irritated, complaining, reacting to everything. Without realizing it, everyone around that person becomes tense. Now imagine another room. Someone is speaking calmly, listening carefully, handling problems without panicking. Even if the situation is stressful, their presence makes everyone feel more relaxed. Who would you rather spend time with? Who would you trust with responsibility? Who would you call during a crisis? The answer is obvious. Calmness is contagious. Psychologists have found that emotions spread through groups much faster than most people realize. If one person panics, others often begin to panic too. But the opposite is also true. When one person remains calm, they often help everyone else settle down. That's why calm people naturally become leaders. Not because they demand authority, but because people feel safer following someone who doesn't lose control. Number 6. Calm men don't waste energy on small things. Think about how much energy people waste every single day. Arguing online, getting offended by strangers, trying to prove they're right, fighting battles that don't improve their lives. Every reaction costs something. It costs time, energy, focus, peace of mind. Calm men understand something powerful. Not everything deserves their attention. They ask themselves, will this matter next week? Will this matter next month? Will this change my life? If the answer is no, they often let it go. This doesn't mean they avoid every conflict. It means they choose their battles wisely. Because every unnecessary argument steals energy that could have been invested somewhere meaningful. Successful people understand this. They protect their attention the same way they protect their money. Because attention is one of the most valuable resources you have. Where your attention goes, your life follows. Number 7. Calm men listen more than they speak. One of the fastest ways to gain wisdom is surprisingly simple. Listen. Most people enter conversations trying to prove what they know. Calm men enter conversations trying to learn. Notice the difference. When you're talking, you're repeating things you already know. When you're listening, you're gaining information you didn't have before. This habit creates several advantages. First, people appreciate feeling heard. Second, you gather more information before making decisions. Third, you avoid unnecessary mistakes because you understand situations more clearly. Many men think silence makes them look weak, but psychology suggests something different. People often associate thoughtful silence with confidence, because secure people don't feel the need to constantly fill every quiet moment. Sometimes the strongest statement in a conversation is simply listening carefully before speaking. And when calm men finally do speak, people pay attention, because they know those words have been chosen carefully. Number 8. Calm men are confident without trying to look confident. This is one of the biggest misunderstandings about confidence. Many people think confidence is something you perform, standing a certain way, speaking loudly, trying to dominate conversations, always having an answer. But genuine confidence usually looks much quieter. It looks like patience. It looks like emotional control. It looks like someone who doesn't panic when things become uncertain. Think about a mountain. It doesn't announce its strength. It doesn't compete with the hills around it. It simply stands. That's how quiet confidence works. Calm men don't constantly seek approval because their confidence comes from within. They're comfortable admitting when they don't know something. They're comfortable changing their minds when new information appears. They're comfortable allowing other people to shine. Why? Because confidence isn't threatened by someone else's success. It isn't built on comparison. It's built on self-respect. And that's why calm confidence often feels so powerful. It doesn't need attention to exist. A lesson life teaches every man. As you get older, you begin noticing something. The people who react to everything rarely control anything. They allow every opinion to affect their mood, every criticism to ruin their day, every inconvenience to steal their peace. But the people who stay calm usually keep moving forward, not because life is easier for them, but because they refuse to let temporary emotions become permanent decisions. That's one of the greatest advantages calm men have. They protect their peace. And peace allows clear thinking. Clear thinking produces better decisions. Better decisions create better lives. It's a cycle, one that most people never recognize. So far, we've talked about why calmness creates trust, better decisions, leadership, and confidence. But the final lessons may be the most important of all, because they explain why calm men often succeed where emotional men repeatedly struggle, and why true strength has very little to do with being loud. Number 9. Calm men are more difficult to read. Have you ever noticed that people become curious about those who don't reveal every emotion immediately? Calm men don't rush to explain themselves. They don't feel the need to react to every comment. They don't reveal every thought the moment it enters their mind. Instead, they observe. They think. They respond only when they believe it's necessary. This creates something powerful. People become curious. When someone is emotionally unpredictable in a negative way, people become cautious. But when someone is emotionally steady and speaks with intention, people naturally pay closer attention. This isn't about playing mysterious. It's about developing emotional discipline. Many men talk too much when they're nervous. They over-explain. They apologize too often. They reveal every insecurity because silence makes them uncomfortable. Calm men don't do that. They're comfortable allowing a moment of silence. They're comfortable taking time before answering. And that composure quietly communicates confidence. Sometimes the less you react, the more people respect what you eventually say. Number 10. Calm men handle failure differently. Failure happens to everyone. No one escapes disappointment. No one wins every time. The difference is how people respond afterward. Many men let failure define them. One rejection convinces them they're not good enough. One business setback makes them quit. One mistake destroys their confidence. Calm men see failure differently. They ask, "What can I learn from this?" Instead of, "Why is this happening to me?" That small shift changes everything. Every setback becomes feedback. Every mistake becomes experience. Every obstacle becomes another opportunity to grow. Because they stay calm, they don't waste months feeling sorry for themselves. They adjust. They improve. Then they keep moving forward. Over time, those small improvements create extraordinary results. That's why calm men often appear lucky. What people call luck is often years of quiet persistence. Number 11. Calm men don't let their ego control them. The ego wants to be right. It wants to win every argument. It wants the last word. It wants everyone to admit it was correct. But calm men understand something. Winning an argument doesn't always improve your life. Sometimes protecting your peace is more valuable than proving a point. Imagine someone insults you. Your ego says, "Say something back." Your wisdom asks, "Will this actually improve anything?" Those are two very different voices. Many people spend years feeding their ego. Very few spend years strengthening their character. Calm men choose character. They apologize when they're wrong. They admit what they don't know. They change their minds when presented with better information. Not because they're weak, because they're secure. Only insecure people believe admitting a mistake makes them smaller. Strong people understand that learning makes them stronger. Number 12. Calm men become the person others rely on. Think about every family, every workplace, every group of friends. There is usually one person everyone turns to when something goes wrong. Why? Because that person doesn't panic. They think clearly. They stay composed. They focus on solutions instead of creating more problems. People trust them, not because they're perfect, but because they're dependable. Life naturally gives responsibility to those who can handle it. Whether it's leading a team, supporting a family, running a business, or helping friends through difficult times, calm people are often chosen first, because reliability creates trust, and trust creates influence. That's one of the greatest rewards of emotional discipline. The calmer you become, the more people believe they can depend on you. Why emotional men keep losing their power. Here's the truth many men never hear. Every time someone controls your emotions, they control part of your life. If a stranger can ruin your entire day with one comment, they have power over you. If criticism instantly destroys your confidence, someone else is controlling your emotional state. If rejection completely changes how you see yourself, you've handed your self-worth to another person. Calm men refuse to do that. They understand that emotions are temporary. They come and go like the weather, but character remains. Instead of allowing every situation to determine how they feel, they decide who they want to be regardless of the situation. That's real strength. Not pretending nothing hurts, not becoming cold, not ignoring emotions, but refusing to let emotions become your master. If there's one thing I hope you remember from this video, it's this. Calmness is not weakness. It is one of the highest forms of strength. Anyone can stay calm when everything is going well. The real test comes when life becomes difficult, when someone insults you, when plans fall apart, when you experience rejection, when things don't happen the way you expected. Those moments reveal your true level of emotional maturity. The strongest men aren't the ones who never face challenges. They're the ones who remain steady while facing them. And here's something worth thinking about. Imagine two versions of yourself 5 years from now. One reacts emotionally to everything, every criticism, every disappointment, every setback. The other has spent 5 years developing patience, discipline, emotional control, wisdom. Which version do you think will have stronger relationships, better opportunities, greater confidence, more peace? The answer is obvious. Remember this. Your greatest advantage in life isn't being the loudest person in the room. It isn't having the last word. It isn't proving everyone else wrong. Your greatest advantage is becoming the one person who remains calm when everyone else is losing control. Because while others are reacting, you're thinking. While others are panicking, you're planning. While others are giving away their power, you're keeping yours. And in the long run, that's why calm men almost always have the upper hand. Click the subscribe button, like, share, and follow for more.